How y'all doing out there, America, the world? We here with another episode of the Put to Bed podcast. You hear me?
Yep, back with
Yeah.
another one. We back with another one, bro. What's up with you?
Man, I'm cool. Just got back off vacation. Me and my girl went to New Orleans for the weekend.
So I've been to New Orleans. No, what? No,
New
say it
Orleans.
again. Yep, Nolan's. I've been there before, like, and it's lit as a bitch, like
Yeah,
lit.
it is.
Like the whole atmosphere, the food, the Bourbon Street, everything is lit, man.
Yeah, it is. They friendly out there too, though.
They real friendly.
They friendly out there. Yeah.
Only bad experience I had going. Well, it wasn't bad. It was eye opening. We went to an old slave house. Me and a friend of mine who went on a trip with me for my birthday a couple years ago, and
Yeah.
that was deep, bro. Deep. Like you felt it. You felt the spirits. You felt some stuff, and it was crazy. I didn't go into it thinking that it was gonna be real like that, but
Yeah.
it was very real. It was real plantation. Yeah, and when you went in certain places in that area, you felt them spirits. And I remember we were just standing there, and me and her, I was like, I'm getting emotional. I got to get up out of here, and I had to leave up out of one of them, a cottage.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. And then like she was like, "You good?" I'm like, "I don't know what happened." And then like a couple of little cottages and houses, big houses later, she got emotional, and she's not an emotional person either. So it was like, yeah, it was eye opening.
Yeah, I had a similar experience out there. We had went to go visit a couple of the levees
Yeah.
that broke during the New Orleans flood and stuff, and we seen like a lot of the first communities and stuff that was hit. We didn't really go on no tour for it. We just did our own research and went out there and just drove around and just looked because we wanted to embody that experience as much as
Mm-hmm.
possible and just put ourselves in that mind frame because we seen a Netflix special about Hurricane Katrina and the hospital that a lot of people was in. There was a nurse in there that made a personal executive decision to kill a lot of people in there to take them out of their
Yeah.
misery type stuff. And it was a lot of scrutiny behind that. She ended up ultimately losing her job and type of stuff like that, and having to go to trial and stuff. And we went to visit that hospital and seeing that it was shut down, and just looking at it like imagine that 10, 15 feet of water
Yeah.
just like in that city, and it's crazy. That happened about 20 years ago. It's
Mm-hmm.
damn near the anniversary of it is coming up, so we were like less than a month away from the anniversary of Hurricane Katrina 20 anniversary. So we
Oh
just
yeah.
went,
It was.
visit a lot of that stuff. It was crazy though, but it's good to see how they flourished and how they overcame. Like even them same neighborhoods is now back. People still living over there and inhabiting it, and they done rebuilt. And you can't really tell unless you know what
Mm-hmm.
happened there. You can't really tell there. The city is back thriving, it's back flourishing. And even on Bourbon Street, like, January 1st, it was a massive killing there. Then with dude that ran his car through there
Yeah.
and did all that type of stuff. And, when we went there, my girl was, she in the medical field. So it was
Right.
real, it hit home for her. She felt a lot of that presence there and reminded me. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
damn, I forgot that happened at the top of the year. But you wouldn't be able to tell by the atmosphere. Bourbon Street was Bourbon Street. They was out there,
It
they was
was.
partying, people was out there hustling, people was out there. It was New Orleans.
Right.
It's just great to see that they such a persevering community, persevering people out
Mm-hmm.
there, man. And it was great to be able to go out there and contribute to the culture and patronize a lot of businesses out there and just
Yeah.
show some support, show some love, and have a good time out there after they've been through so much. So it definitely was an emotional experience as well. But we had a great time too as well.
Yeah. That's what New Orleans is about. Like it's emotional, especially for Black people and some white people because there was some white people in there too. But it's very emotional for us though
Yeah,
because we lived that pain through our ancestors. So being in those certain areas and then also with the hospital, being in that healthcare field, seeing how many people was lost. I can't remember her name, but it was a movie about that.
yeah,
And it was crazy because she was just taking people out. And then yeah, because she was killing people. It was called mercy killings to her, but she was really
mm,
killing people. But yeah, let's get on to the real juicy stuff here tonight. The two topics
yeah.
we coming with two topics tonight because we're gonna change it up a little bit tonight. First off, I'm exhausted. Bro just came back
Me
from
too.
his trip. He wanna unwind a little bit. And then my baby turned 16 today and drove me completely nuts. And we had a good time at the same time. But so I need a nap. So yeah, let's get into it, bro.
Let's jump into it.
So my question for you was, what's your thoughts on child protective services and like the across the board, not just where we stay at, but like, well, basically where we stay at in a sense, but like what you think about it, and do you think they really protect the kids? I myself have been in that field, worked in
Hmm.
that field. So I have a good and bad thoughts on the process and what it is. So I just wanted to hear somebody else's thoughts from the outside looking in, type of thing. Then I'll give you my little spilly after that.
Okay, okay. Mine is definitely an outside looking in type of situation
Yeah.
because I have no personal experience with it or anything like that, or know too many people that have personal experience with it. A couple people that I
Mm,
have that I know personally that been through some CPS type of situations and stuff like that with their children and stuff like that. But I did some research on it and just for contextual subject
yeah.
matter, just to be able to give you my take on it. And I was looking at the numbers, and they were saying like 70 something. I think it was like 90% or something. It was like either 70 or 90% kids that people in families that come in contact with CPS don't get taken out of the house, don't get taken out of their household. So I looked at that as like a good number for and but they said like I was another like it was another either 70 or 90%. I'm mixing up the percentages
That's yeah.
on these facts, but it was either 75% like of people who come in contact with CPS. The children still remain in the living in the situation, and then they were saying it was like 60 or 70% of kids they do get taken away from their household end up eventually reuniting with they families with their parents and stuff like that. So just looking at the numbers, though, I feel like it does have its effectiveness. I feel like I said, it's hard for me to say on a personal aspect of it, but I feel like any system isn't all the way designed for us, of course. So I feel like they probably do have more scrutiny and more, and
Mm-hmm.
we under a bigger microscope as being people of color when it comes to stuff like that. And I feel like the rules probably bend a little bit more for
For
others, other
certain.
cultures, and other people. You
Yeah.
mean that's just with everything in this country. So I feel like that does play a part. The upbringing of the situation, the cultural background, the financial situation of the family, all that type of stuff plays a role into how they proceed and how they choose to help
Mm,
and render services to those in need or to those children or to those mothers or to those fathers. And that all of that definitely plays a role in the
part.
balance of it to me. But I feel like that's really my overall take on it because my research and my take is basically based on just research that I did and just numbers that I looked at. That's where I'm getting all of my
Yeah.
information as
Yeah.
far as. But I would love to hear your side of it more so because I know that you did work in
Yeah.
CPS, and I know that you definitely have a hands-on experience and
Hmm.
hands-on insight that you can give and share with us.
Yeah, I do. Like, so the goal, we know. I mean, we our goal, the goal, not our goal because I don't work there anymore. But I was a initial specialist, and basically what it was, we just go in, we get a report, you go in and you assess the situation basically and see if there was safety concerns or not. If there's safety concerns, then you come up with a plan, and that looks like sometimes depending on the safety concerns. Because if you go walk into a place and you see kids have like burns everywhere, and unexplained burns is what it is, not just burns, unexplained burns, and it's more than one, and they're in places that burns shouldn't be, like certain things where abuses are behind the ear, things like that. So you see those type of burns, and that's more of abuse, like look like. So when you see that type of stuff and you see black eyes and 3-year-olds, then you looking like, okay, we need to intervene in some point because you don't know how to control your emotions enough to not hit your child the way to hurt them. So there's a couple ways you can do that though. It depends on the intensity of it. Like if you really did some stuff, then you could potentially lose your child into like a foster care temporarily or a family member temporarily or something like that. But the goal is reunification, to unite the family back together. Like it's not to be split them up. Most people think that in the community, and I understand why, because that's all we hear. They took them away. They took them away, but you don't also hear the numbers of they stayed. Like you said, there's a lot of stats and facts that say that kids, they do stay with their families. There's just sometimes a protective plan put in place, which looks
Hmm.
like maybe a grandma coming over for 2 weeks to stay at the house because we need to make sure grandma, and she has to be a safety, that we assess her as well. So like we doing everything, background checks, everything. So like you assess that person to see if that person is really going to oversee them safety measures and concerns. And if they are, then we know that we can at least count on them for 2 weeks to protect them kids while we do some more assessing. Because you
Yeah,
don't want to also count a parent out by, parents make mistakes. Let's just be real. Now, abuse is a different story, but a mistake is a mistake. You know what I'm saying? Like you made what, I don't know, because I don't like abuse, period. But like say you hit your kid, a kid's light skin, even though I don't believe in smacking kids in the face. Some people do that. Smack them on the face. one smack, open hand, and they just light skin. They go to school, they got a print on their face. That's enough to call because now there's an unexplained injury. But that parent, just that be the way they was raised. They got smacked in their face, so it's more of a my pattern. It's all I know. It's my
Yeah,
first
facts.
kid. I messed up. I made a mistake. I'm willing to go to parenting classes. I'm willing to let my mom come over for 2 weeks and make sure I learn a little better. Or not even 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, or whatever. So there's ways to go about it. It's not always taking away. It's really intervening to come up with a safety plan so it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, facts.
Because the goal is to protect the child or children at all costs, for real. Because I'm gonna be real, the numbers that I see lately, especially in I don't need to say social media. I look up stuff because I'm curious about certain things, and I watch a lot of crime shows. Kids getting messed up by their parents a
Yeah,
lot,
yeah,
man. Like in the last, well, let's say like 3 months, we done had a dad behead his own son, put him out in the landfill. Yes, look that one up. I gotta
crazy.
get the name. I gotta get the name. Biological son. Mom sent him there to, like most moms do. I'm gonna send you with your dad, get you together because you ain't, you out of pocket a little bit.
Uh huh.
And I don't know what happened, what occurred, but that man was arrested for beheading his own son. They found him with his head ooff, basically, in a
Crazy.
landfill and things like that. And then like a whole bunch of other kids, but like it's that's deep.
Yeah,
So when you see things like that and or stuff that's building up, you want to intervene. When you see certain things, you want to intervene.
yeah.
So the whole goal
You need to
is
intervene.
yeah, yeah. Like I have my own pros and cons, but I do believe in them protecting kids and keeping them safe. Now sometimes, like everybody do, even basketball players when they fumble that ball, they fumble.
Yeah,
Sometimes. Sometimes they place kids, depending on the worker, back with the abuser. And then
yeah,
something happens to that child. You know what I'm saying? So it does depend. It depends on the state, it depends on the worker, and it depends on the laws.
yeah,
Because in one state, you can have a kid and you can get three of your kids taken. And you go in like taking TPR means it's like your temporary rights is done. And they can take that. And you have another kid. In Wisconsin, they take that baby too.
mm,
Off the rip is off the rip of you couldn't care for these three and you lost custody, temporary rights of these three. So you can't even make medical this nothing. You have no more rights to these three, but you want to have another one. So how do we know this is not going to happen again?
yeah.
And
Facts.
after the pattern, they start taking kids at like birth, depending on the circumstances.
And
Now
it
in
makes
other
sense though.
states, huh?
I mean, that makes sense though. To be honest, like once
Yeah,
you
yeah,
show a
it
pattern,
does.
if you then had three chances, it's under the three strikes you out type act. Like
It
we done
is
gave you three chances, and you deem yourself incapable three times. Like why would we take the chance with you a fourth time? Ultimately, like you
right.
said, the goal is to protect these children. And if you deem yourself incapable of doing it three times, why would we even give you a fourth chance with a fourth child? Like you
Exactly.
clearly shouldn't be bringing life into this world.
Or and if you are, you can't take care of them.
Yeah, take care
Even
of
if that's a
it.
mental capacity, physically, financially, whatever it is, you can't take care of them. Drugs, whatever.
Yeah,
So you proven that. So now we can't trust you with this one. It's basically what it's saying. The state's
yeah,
saying anyway. And but also through my own research in other states, that don't fly. People keeping kids. I don't
mm,
know how I feel, but you know what I'm saying. I'm in
yeah.
Wisconsin, so I know what we do,
I
and
mean,
I kind
I
of
feel that
believe
I
in
don't agree with
that.
everything. I don't agree with everything Wisconsin do, but I definitely I agree with that in a sense, like because like you
That.
said, I mean, your pattern is everything, and
Hmm.
you should at least have to prove and show that you change your dynamics, change your living circumstances, whatever your drug use, whatever it may be,
Right.
your mental situation, whatever it be, you should be evaluated before you able to move forward having kids and having custody of your kids after you've
Yeah.
lost three of them, like situations like that. I see how it can be helpful, and I see how it can be hurtful towards a parent when they
Hmm.
unexpectedly get their child taken or something like that. But I see the value in it. That's what I'm trying to say is that I see the value
Yeah.
in the system of how it works, and I know how it can be hurtful sometimes to a parent to lose their child. But at the end of the day, it's really just a wake up call because their goal ain't to just take your
Sometimes
kid permanent. Yeah, sometimes it should be. It
it
should
should
be a
be.
wake
Yeah.
up call for you to be able to get yourself together, whatever the situation may be, whether it be abuse, whether it be financial, whatever the situation may be. It's a chance and an opportunity and a wake up call for you to get yourself together. And I feel like we need that in our system to be
Yeah.
able to to regulate, because sometimes we have kids and we need that help. We need that. Sometimes people be mentally unstable. Sometimes people be financially messed up. And the
Mhm.
demographics where sometimes you need somebody else to step in and be like, hold on, this is not the ideal environment for a child. We're gonna let you take a step back and evaluate or get yourself together, or go through some psychology or some
Yeah.
therapy or whatever it may be for whatever, or to get yourself together and then reunite you with your child type situation.
I agree to a point with you with that because in that particular situation, I believe that they worked. I mean, I believe that sometimes they work let make the wrong parents work too hard for to
Facts,
get that
facts.
kid back. Because in that particular situation, sometimes it could just be somebody as a parent in general, as a person. Sometimes you can have a crisis, whatever
Yeah,
that looks like. You know what I'm saying? And that don't mean, I can't take care of my kid long
facts.
term. It just means that I might need some help, with some mental health services, some resources for rent, resources for job, that type of stuff. Because that
Yeah, I
stuff that
need
wear
that.
people
Yeah, yeah,
down. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? So in certain situations, I think that they make the wrong parent work too hard for it. Because
True,
there's
I do
parents who's
agree.
done less than what that situation that we're talking about, way less. I mean, they were done way more. I'm sorry, way more than that, way more. And that
Yeah,
was this small,
yeah, facts.
compared
As
to
far as
what it could have
parenting, yeah, as
been. You
far
know
as
what I'm saying?
parenting goes, that was this small. Like,
Yeah.
I,
So
I
like,
agree. I
you know what I'm
agree.
saying? So like that situation, it could have been tailored a little different. That could make a person change their outlook on how the system works against me versus for
Facts,
me. You know what I'm
facts.
saying?
I
So
agree.
yeah.
I agree though. From
Yeah.
that aspect of it, I agree.
Yeah, bro. Let's get to the next one. That's yours.
So the
Oh well,
next
is
topic,
it put to bed for you first before
yeah, that's
we
put to bed. Yeah, that's put to
okay,
bed.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Look, I said, hold on, let me get
No,
that
you
put to
good, you
sleep.
good, you good,
Put to
you good.
nap.
We rolling, we rolling, we rolling. But now, the next topic is gonna be kind of short and sweet for me. It's just, I'm big on health. I'm a
God, these
personal
dogs.
trainer. I do a lot of, I'm a personal trainer. I'm a fitness coach, all that type of stuff, and I'm also a nutritional specialist. And I eat a very different diet than the average American, the average person out here.
Yeah, yeah.
And I do a lot of research, and I do a lot of study, and I do a lot of
Mhm.
research on just health and wellness and dietary stuff like that, and just nutrition. So I came to the thing to ask you, like, do you feel like our food is killing us?
Um, yes.
More so, and you say, yeah,
It was like, yes, yes, I do. I'm plant based, and I plant based. I eat some seafood options depending on what it is. Now, my
yeah,
birthday, I did try octopus, so hey, whatever. But yeah,
yeah,
I'm plant based, so I do believe that. That's one reason why I transitioned over to the next transition period because meat was killing me. In particular, because I have a medical condition, where it made me swell up and things like that. So I couldn't mess with it no more. And then it contributed to that anyway. It
yeah,
didn't cause it per se, but it contributed to it, especially years of eating it.
yeah,
Because I was a pork, beef, chicken, sausage, everything eating person. Like I'm talking about,
yeah,
we making greens with the neck bones type shit. Like you know what I'm saying? Chitlins type shit. You know what I'm saying? So like with the hot sauce. So, it was real
yeah,
like meat eating in our whole life. You know what I'm saying? So it was different. When I got older and I started doing research and seeing all the hormones in the food and what increased a lot. Like chicken used to be this big, then they got this big with leg. I'm like certain things you like, hold on,
yeah,
bro.
yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying? And then if I'm gonna pay that much money for groceries anyway, I might as well get the organic and
Yeah,
get some stuff that's gonna be a little bit better for me. Because I mean, I said it's perfect, but it's a little bit better for me.
facts.
But yeah, I just realize I just feel like it is killing us. Obesity is outrageous,
Outrageous.
even and that's across all cultures. Like
Yeah,
we talking about culture that was skinny, petite back in the day. Now we all chunky and fat and shit. Like so,
yeah,
like we all got a little extra meat. Not you as much broke as you fitness, but like some of us who still getting there, we still got a little extra meat.
yeah,
But but like with certain foods, you get if you eating out all day, every day and you ain't cooking healthy meals at home or getting, actually evening that out, like getting a protein, some vegetables, a grain, actually even it out, meal prepping and stuff like that. That makes a difference in how you eat for sure. Because
facts.
I'm a
It
meal
definitely
prepper,
does.
so Yeah. So like I think that our food is killing us. I feel like the restaurant food was killing us, especially chains. I'm gonna say food chain restaurants
Yeah,
more in a
yeah,
sense because them lines be long. All I see is McDonald's lines and Chick-fil-A lines and Taco Bell, and all that.
yeah, for
You
real.
know what I'm saying? So it is a culture of us eating too much. Even we eat our emotions. We eat stress a lot. We just eat, you know what I'm saying? And we
Mm,
some families like Italian families and black families, we are known for big meals and big gatherings and stuff like that where everybody bringing something. We having potlucks for days. So like yeah, it's in a culture too. So yeah, I do believe that it's killing the hell out of us because we're getting fatter and cholesterol, diabetes is getting younger in the kids.
facts,
So
facts.
yeah, for sure. It's short and simple for me for that because it is the truth. Like we see it every day. If you go on Netflix, you're gonna see a whole bunch of documentaries about what is killing us and what you're eating and everything. Do your own research, you're gonna see it, and you should be doing that anyway. You should know what's going on in your body.
No, facts.
Yeah, so you should know what's going in there, if you, especially if you care about it. Y'all going to get these BBLs and all that other stuff. You got to make sure that you gonna make it stay. You hear me?
No, facts, no facts.
I feel like yeah, we got to do better in teaching um our kids how to eat because they go to the store and they hook up on them Takis and flames and juices.
No, facts. I mean, for a lot of stuff that you said, I could piggyback off of. I'm gonna start with like you said, with one thing that stood out to me perfectly that I wanted to touch on anyway was we eat too much,
Yeah, we
and I
do.
feel like that's one of the biggest things. Like people think like we have to eat 3, 4 times a day to sustain, and we really don't. Like we really don't. You can survive off one meal a day. I know a lot of people look at that like, damn, that's
I
that's
do.
that's that's doing too much, or that's not enough, or that's fortunate. But no, if as long as you
Yes.
hydrating. As long as you hydrate and you get you some fruits, you get you some veggies in there. One good meal a day though, you can snack throughout the day. You're gonna snack some
Hmm.
vegetables and carrots, cucumbers, all that type of stuff, watermelon and bananas and all that type of stuff. As long as you
Right.
get them snacks in, them healthy snacks in, you literally can survive off one meal a day. Like, and I'm in good shape, and I'm not like not super skinny. I got muscle mass,
Yeah.
and I don't eat 3, 4 times a day. I eat one good meal. Sometimes, most of the time, I eat one good meal a day, and a lot of it comes from overeating. We're not giving our bodies time to
Hmm.
process all the food, especially with the foods, with the GMOs, with the over processed foods, with all the fast food stuff, with the high
Right.
starch and all of the food, and then a lot of the stuff that we eat in America, period. Like we got chemicals like red number five and stuff like that that's banned in other countries. Like
Uh
you
huh.
can't put that in the foods in other countries. You can't put a lot of the GMOs and the high processed stuff like that they have and the glycerin and all that type of stuff. Like a lot of the stuff and ingredients and stuff that we put in food here is banned in other countries because they
Right.
know how deadly it is to us. So I figure like the stuff that we eating, like you said, the fast food, the processed food, the
Hmm.
fried food, a lot of that stuff is killing us, and
It
it's
is.
taking away from our essence. It's taking away from it's killing our organs because people don't realize how long it takes for our bodies to digest stuff, and people don't realize, like you said, you plant based. I'm plant based as well. I don't eat meat besides seafood myself too because naturally we are not meat eaters. Like if you look at
Hmm.
the DNA structure of a meat eating mammals or meat eating creatures, they built different. They
Right.
canines, they have they teeth. Like they canines is meant for
Uh
ripping
huh.
off meat, and they digestive system is different. They have smaller intestines where they can get like, for instance, like a lion. A lion has like I think 35 feet, something like that, 35 inches, something like that of intestines versus our 70 something. You know,
Yeah.
feet of intestines in our body. So it's taking way longer for our body
Yeah. It is.
to go through that digestive process versus a creature that's made to eat meat is getting in and out of their system versus us sitting all of that stuff sitting on our gut, sitting in our system,
Yeah.
creating parasites and rotting us from the inside out. And a lot of us don't
Hmm.
realize that like we don't have the jaw structure, we don't have the genetic makeup, we don't even have the digestive system to eat meat because anything that
Right.
you can eat naturally like a plant I can take an apple fresh off the plant and eat it,
Yeah.
and it won't do nothing to me. I can
Hmm.
take a cucumber fresh out the garden, rinse it off, eat it. It won't do nothing to me. Same thing with a
Yep.
watermelon. Same thing with any fruit, any vegetable that you pick up. I can't do that with meat. I
No.
can't just go kill. I can't just go kill a pig and just get to snacking on him like a lion would, and without getting sick, without getting E. coli
Unless you're a
or something
carnivore.
like
Was it carnivore?
a carnivore, yeah. Only carnivores can do that, but we not naturally carnivores. We herbivores.
Yeah.
Like I can't go kill this chicken and just eat it raw and not get sick. I have to cook it. I got to season it. I got to do so much to it to make it edible and to make it taste good. Period. Yeah, I feel like a lot of the stuff that we consume is taking us to is taking us definitely taking us to an early grade, especially in
I
our
agree.
country. Like you said, a lot of that stuff is cultural. A lot of that stuff, like you said, the pig feet, the chitlins, and all that type of stuff. You know, like
Man.
we both grew up on it. That's part of our culture. Our
Hmm.
family is, a lot of our family deep rooted from the South and all that type of stuff. So it's in our culture.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you look at the history of it, a lot of soul food, the stuff that we eat, the so-called soul food, is really killing our soul. And a lot of that stuff came from slavery. It came from a survival. Like the slave masters, they would take the pig and eat what they wanted to eat off of it, and all the scraps they would throw away to the slaves. Pig
Yeah,
feet
they
was
would.
Yeah, pig feet was the scraps that they threw away to the slaves that they wouldn't eat. Chitlins and stuff like that, pig intestines,
Hmm.
the snout, like stuff like that they wouldn't eat because they knew the damage it would do to them, and they just threw it to the
Yeah.
slaves, and we just had to take what we could because we didn't have much, so we took them
We
trash
just
and made
took
it.
it.
Yeah, we took it and made it a delicacy. We took
Yeah, we
the
did.
scraps and made it a delicacy. And I get it for our survival back then, but now that we more informed, now that we freer, now that we free to go buy our own food and stuff like that, it's certain stuff we need to take out of our palate, take off of our plate, take off of our menu as cultures because it's not good for us. It never was good for us. We had to eat it
Hmm.
for survival, understanding.
Yeah.
We passed that now. Let's move past that and break those generational curses of creating that diet that we was forced to go into versus a
Right.
diet that's really healthy for us and can help us sustain and live longer. Because ultimately, what you put in your
It's the
body is
goal.
is, is yeah, is a big part of your survival. How long you gonna be here? From
Exactly.
getting sick often. Like I don't get sick often at all. I can't even remember the last time. I ain't been sick in at least going on 2 years. I'm talking about like the common cold. I haven't caught the common cold in
Yeah.
almost 2 years. Period. No sicknesses because of my diet, the way I eat, the way I work out, the way I move. A lot of that stuff, diabetes, high blood
Hmm.
pressure, all of these things that we can name, hypertension, a lot of these stuff, stress, insomnia, all of these things can be related back to your diet.
It can. It can. I mean, some of it is genetically because if some can be not genetically. Yeah, genetically. Like sometimes you can get some like diabetes running your family type stuff. But that don't mean
Yeah,
everybody gonna
like
get it. It just
yeah,
mean that you can stop it too. You can control
fact,
that. That narrative for real.
facts.
Like so. I agree with you with with everything you said. Like it is something that we need to look more into. Do your own research. Start looking into what's going into your body for real. Because like you only get one. And if waking up the next one day and feeling heavy, you ain't supposed to feel real heavy like that
After
after a
eating,
meal. You know what I'm saying? Like
no,
so
you're
you
not.
supposed to
You're not.
yeah.
It's supposed to
So
give you
like
energy. It's supposed to like our bodies is like vehicles. When you put gas in the car, it don't
hmm
start running slower. It start running
right.
more efficient. And that's what we're
Exactly.
supposed to be doing with our food, like our plants, our vegetables, and all that type of stuff. You can tell the difference when you eat it. It gives you natural energy. You're supposed to feel good and energetic and more alive after you consume food, not lethargic and getting the itis
Yeah.
and stuff like that we deem like, oh, that food was good because it made me slouchy and groggy and made me want to take a nap. But really, it's the opposite. Food ain't supposed to
It's
do
the
that to you.
opposite. And this is like 13. Yeah, well, 16 today. So 13 plus 13 years or so now that I've been on this. So this is like a lifestyle. Ain't even like no, like, you know how certain people everything start coming out. I'm this, I'm that. Like, man, I was plant based before they even had all these damn plant based options. And you
Nah,
had to make
facts.
your own real
You
stuff
had to make
with
your own.
yeah, like you got to make it. So like
Mhm.
it's different. I'm happy for the options though. Please keep them coming. But like it does make a difference in how you feel. I ain't the spokesperson for it. I just know it made me healthier in my condition that I have for sure.
Nah, facts.
But yeah, bro, what you
Anything
you
else
got
you want to
anything else?
add though before we?
Let's see. Nah, I think it's put to bed. I feel like I have one more left of something to say, but I can't get what it is right now. But yeah, we're both plant based. We've been living a great life with eating good. I got to work on my self care more for me. That's something I'm working on. This is within the next couple months. That's my focus. So I'll let you know about that journey. With food, I'm
Yeah,
good with.
yeah.
I eat about 1.5 meals a day, a one meal and a snack. So it
Me too, for
depends.
real.
It depends. And then when you plant based, you can have little nuts and fruit because that is going to fill you up a little bit more, or your shakes and stuff like that
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
and
That you supposed to
beans,
though. You supposed to snack. You supposed to snack on the healthy stuff like that.
air sticks and stuff. But yeah, that's all I had to add. I'm good. I'm put to bed for the night.
Yeah, it's put to bed for me, literally, because I'm finna go right to bed.
Literally, same. We told you in the beginning. It's been a long day. We just wanted to. come back in and show our faces and our dedication, and yeah, keep it moving.
Facts. And like we always say, man, you feel me? Rest your eyes, but don't rest your mind, don't rest your spirit, don't rest your soul, and don't rest your ambition.
Yes, sir. And like we said, we'll be back again next week with a couple more topics. Might be a little longer next week because we'll be more rested. Bro had a little vacation; he deserved that. And I'm
Yeah,
happy he
yeah.
turned up. Yeah, he turned up for me.
Had to.
Bust. All right, bro. Yeah, I love you, bro.
All right, love, love.
Like, I'm ready for my yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, love.
I've been studying the bane of my existence. They try to write me off, but I keep taxing them consistent. You don't know the pain of being trapped inside the system. Soon as they read you your rights, you know you on your way to prison. It's a trap. And why the hell you think they call it that? Trust falls the way I'm comfortable with falling back. Fell out with my dog, I ain't feel the need to call him back. Talking greasy, making me think words and swallow all of that. All of that trauma got me screaming to my voice.